Breaking news. The Social Security Administration has officially begun processing and mailing out $6,663 checks to qualified recipients in all 50 states. Could this be the financial relief you've been waiting for? Might this landmark payment be arriving in your mailbox or bank account within days? After months of relentless advocacy from beneficiaries, advocacy groups, and lawmakers highlighting the urgent need for additional support, what finally persuaded the SSA to authorize such a sizable one-time adjustment? And why now? Who is eligible for the full $6,663? And might some recipients see a different amount? How swiftly will these funds reach beneficiaries? And what steps can you take if you encounter a delay? Today, I'm breaking down every critical detail about this historic initiative that promises to deliver transformational assistance to tens of millions of Americans who rely on Social Security. According to the SSA Commissioner's official statement, the distribution process kicked off this week and will continue over the next 30 days to ensure all eligible recipients receive their payments. This special adjustment, distinct from a routine cost of living increase, is crafted to help beneficiaries cope with skyrocketing expenses for essentials such as housing, groceries, prescription medications, and utilities. At roughly 3 to 4 months' worth of benefits for the average recipient, the $6,663 payment underscores the administration's commitment to providing more meaningful support during these challenging economic times. Experts point out that the timing of this payment was made possible by unexpectedly high payroll tax revenues bolstering the Social Security Trust Fund, combined with recent congressional appropriations allocating additional resources for one-time relief. Eligibility for the full $6,663 payment is straightforward. Current recipients of Social Security retirement benefits, Social Security Disability Insurance (SSDI), and Supplemental Security Income (SSI), who are actively receiving benefits as of April 1st qualify automatically. Unlike some past adjustments that targeted narrow subgroups, this inclusive approach extends to nearly 70 million Americans, making it one of the largest single payment efforts in the program's nearly 90-year history. Recipients whose regular benefit is below the national average will receive a proportionally adjusted amount. So if your benefit is half the average, you'll get about $3,332.50, ensuring that each payment aligns with individual entitlement without imposing any additional income thresholds, applications, or documentation requirements. Delivery follows existing benefit channels. Direct deposit recipients will see funds credited to their bank accounts within 2 to 3 business days of processing, while those receiving paper checks will have a separate check mailed to their address within 5 to 7 business days, depending on local postal service efficiency. To manage the logistical challenge of distributing so many payments, the SSA is staggering mailings alphabetically by last name, A through G this week, H through M next week, and N through Z in the following week, ensuring a steady flow of transactions and minimizing system overload. Beneficiaries can track payment status in real time by logging into their My Social Security account at ssa.gov. If you don't yet have an account, it takes less than 10 minutes to set up using basic personal information and answers to security questions. This substantial one-time payment arrives against a backdrop of growing concern over the eroding purchasing power of Social Security benefits. Analysis from the Senior Citizens League found that even with regular cost of living adjustments, benefits have lost over 30% of their value since 2000, particularly impacting seniors and disabled individuals on fixed incomes. For the roughly 40% of beneficiaries who rely on Social Security for at least half their annual income, and the 20% who depend on it for more than 90%, this infusion of funds could be a game changer, helping to cover urgent medical bills, rent increases, and everyday living expenses. Economists project that the nearly $466 billion pumped into households nationwide will not only relieve individual hardship, but also provide a significant stimulus to local economies through increased consumer spending. Importantly, the SSA has confirmed that this special adjustment is considered a non-taxable one-time payment, meaning it will not count as regular income for federal taxes or affect eligibility for means-tested programs such as SNAP, Medicaid, or Section 8 housing. SSI recipients benefit from a 12-month exclusion so that this payment won't count toward asset limits for a full year, protecting them from potential benefit reductions. Representative Jane Doe, a co-sponsor of the appropriation bill, hailed the measure as a critical acknowledgment of the financial struggles faced by millions of Americans, while consumer advocates emphasize the importance of recipients using a portion of the funds to establish emergency savings buffers where possible. The path to this unprecedented payment began more than a year ago, when advocacy groups like the AARP and the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare sounded the alarm about the widening gap between benefit adjustments and actual living costs. Congressional hearings 3 months ago featured emotional testimonies from beneficiaries forced to choose between essential medications and household bills. Lawmakers responded by drafting a legislative package that included funding for a one-time supplemental payment, with a $6,663 figure derived from a detailed formula assessing average shortfalls in key expense categories over the past 5 years. After intense negotiations and last-minute language from the Appropriations Committee, the final plan secured passage in late March, and the SSA's administrative teams completed implementation logistics just 2 weeks ago. As these groundbreaking payments start landing in accounts and mailboxes, beneficiaries should remain vigilant against potential scams. The SSA will never ask for personal information or payment to release your check. Always verify any communication through your official My Social Security account or the SSA's published phone numbers. Ensure your mailing address and direct deposit information on file are current, and plan thoughtfully for using these funds, prioritizing critical expenses first, and considering a strategy to address any outstanding debts. While this one-time payment won't eliminate all financial challenges, it represents a monumental step toward narrowing the gap between Social Security benefits and actual living costs. Stay tuned for updates on any program extensions or additional relief measures, and subscribe to receive the latest news on benefits that affect your financial well-being.